Hello everybody, my name is Tasia Morrow, and as you all may know, the Organelle elections are coming up, so we have to find the best organelle to replace the nucleus. It's gonna be pretty hard, but honestly, I think that one of these organelles has it in the bag. Which one, do you ask? Well, I'm going to tell you. My girl, Centriole, has it in the bag. I mean, come on now. You're probably asking yourself, why should we vote for Centriole? Who cares? Why should they be chief organelle? Well, I think I should shine some light on this current situation. I wrote down a few things that you should know before you vote for your next chief organelle. Maybe it'll change your mind. First things first, the centrioles organizes chromosomes and helps the cell when it comes time to divide, which is the process of mitosis. So basically, it helps divide and makes copies of the cell. This happens when two centrioles come together and they create a centrosome. Well, during this S and G2 phase, DNA is replicated from two centriosomes. The two new centrosomes then go on opposite sides of the dividing nucleus and are both used as poles for the meiotic spindle. Ew. This is a very essential part for mitosis. Without the centrioles, animal/mammal life would cease to exist. Think about that. Another awesome thing about centrioles is that they help the movement of different organelles, like microfilament and macrofilament, intermediate filaments, mitochondria, and ribosomes. They help them by carrying them to the opposite side, which helps the fibers form by centrioles during the mitosis. So these organelles were thankful when they were working with centrioles. And also, if you were wondering where the centriole is located, it's actually by the nucleus, which is right, if you can see on this piece of paper, it says right here. So they are right here, right next to the nucleus, which means, come on, closer to the nucleus, closer to being chief organelle. Hello. And well, if that hasn't changed your mind, I have some very important information you should know about the other runner-up organelles. Let's start off with lysosomes. There is a disease called Tay-SACHS disease, which is when molecules that are supposed to be broken down accumulate instead, in which this causes a deficiency in one of the lysosome's enzymes. That doesn't sound very good. Next is the mitochondria. The mitochondria can do lots of damage to the body if the mitochondria malfunctions. And that's not okay. If the mitochondria fails, which is probably most likely, you'll just damage the body, and that's not okay. Probably the worst and saddest of them all is the Golgi body apparatus. If this malfunctions, it will cause lots of harm to the body. And one of the biggest causes is innocent babies born. They're born with short limbs and very easy to break bones. This does not sound like a good chief organelle. Next on this list is ribosomes. Dysfunction of the ribosomes will cause disease called ribosome pathesis. This is a composed collection of disorders and genetic abnormalities. This is linked to several human genetic diseases. Last but definitely not least is cystic fibrosis and the cell membrane. This causes defect in the channels leading from certain glands which is in result of a variety of problems like choking thick mucus in the lungs and frequent infection. I mean, who wants to go through that? Just remember that centrioles are essential to mitosis, and without mitosis, we probs wouldn't be here. Like, we wouldn't exist at all. I wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be here, your cousins wouldn't be here, Obama wouldn't be here. So I mean, come on. Cells would die off before dividing and creating new cells. We wouldn't be able to live since cells are a major part of our anatomy. I know, you probably won't listen to me, but just make sure to keep #Team Centrioles in mind when you are voting for this year's Organelle election. Bye!